following developments at the U.S. Attorney's Office in the state of Minnesota, where there has been turmoil and a lot of resignations in recent months. Now, as Lou Raguse has found, more serious drug cases have recently been dismissed.
When asked about his office's bandwidth to prosecute new drug and gang cases in light of 2 serious cases getting dismissed, U.S. Attorney Dan Rosen said those examples had nothing to do with the staffing issues at his office.
Well, first of all, the premise of your question is wrong about the recent cases. But absolutely, our office has all of this bandwidth and more.
But since that press conference 2 weeks ago, KARE 11 has found 3 additional cases that the U.S. Attorney's Office asked the judge to drop. Dean Gunther was charged with dealing meth. A judge approved the prosecution's request to keep him in jail, then 11 days later asked the judge to drop the charges. He's been released. Jeremy Hunt, charged with a conspiracy to distribute meth, had a hearing set in late January to argue evidence, but instead, the prosecution asked the judge to drop the case. And Mustafa Farah, charged with a gun crime on top of intent to deal cocaine and fentanyl, saw his case dropped in late January as well. Surprising for former Assistant U.S. Attorney Doug Kelly to see.
When I was an Assistant U.S. Attorney, you would be terribly embarrassed if you had to dismiss a case that you indicted. The only reasons that were done in the past were if a witness died or something that happened to the evidence in the case. Dismissing cases that were already indicted was really unheard of.
These additional dismissals don't give a reason, and the U.S. Attorney's Office declined to comment. But in the case of Tavon Timberlake, court filings noted staffing turnover as an issue before the judge dropped the charges because prosecutors couldn't bring the case to trial in time. And this week, prosecutors in a Feeding Our Future fraud case noted significant staffing changes in asking for a delay in the June trial. Kelly notes that the DOJ has come in and charged dozens in the church protest case and that the local office has prioritized charging protesters during Operation Metro Surge, although they've recently dismissed several of those, including self-described relationship anarchist TikToker Elizabeth Rose, who is accused of ramming her car into federal vehicles. The allegations surrounding those dropped drug cases, though, strike Kelly as the kinds of cases President Trump wanted prioritized.
I think that's the poster child for the worst of the worst that the President of the United States keeps mentioning as his reason for the surge.
Lou Raguse, KARE 11 News.
So why were these cases dropped? It's a good question, and one Lou asked of the U.S. Attorney's Office, but they did not comment for the story.